Okay. So I'm a little bit sweaty right now. I'm sorry if you can hear my AC going. It's really hot out today. And I might get dry mouth throughout the video, so I'm sorry because my water is running low. And I'm a little sweaty. Just went to the car wash, the one where you clean your car, because I really enjoy that. And when I feel stressed out, uh, I like to clean. I know, crazy. Some people like that. I know a lot of people don't, but for me, it's really helpful. And so today, today's Father's Day, and I just felt compelled to. I'm trying to adjust my seat, um, but I felt compelled to just make a video and talk about if you're anyone like me who Father's Day or Mother's Day or both. For me, it's both, and for some people, it's just one parent. Whatever it may be. But Father's Day and or Mother's Day are really hard, really, really hard. And I just wanted to make a video about it because I feel like I don't see enough people talk about it, and not that they have to, not that anyone has to make a video like this and talk about it, but I know just growing up and even 10 years ago, so I just turned 30, crazy. It's just time went by so fast. But 10 years ago when I was 20, I just remember feeling like I wish that there was more content online where people talked about like genuinely what it's like to have bad parents and how do you cope with that. What do you do? Because there's no handbook for it. I mean, there are some books, but um yeah, I don't know. And I do think, I mean, certainly there are tons of people online who make videos, post content, stuff like that, who haven't had to, they're very lucky, like they don't have bad parents. Uh, and that, I feel very happy for those people. And that's one thing that I did want to mention because I immediately this morning, I woke up and I went right to Instagram. Don't know why. It's just a habit. I think a lot of people do it. Not always the best habit, but I forgot that it was Father's Day and I just started seeing all these posts. And you've probably seen that stuff as well. And I immediately got really sad and then kind of angry. But I think it's important to remember, like, I'm not angry, and maybe you feel differently, and that's okay. This stuff is so confusing. There's like no way to do it or to know how to like do all this. But I realized like I don't feel angry at people who have good parents. If anything, I feel so happy for them. A little jealous, I mean, yeah. But I think more than that, like it's important to not harbor bitterness towards people who have better circumstances or who had a better childhood. Um, it's easy to do that. It's really easy to do that. And I think back to when I was 20 and I did that all the time. And I had a really hard time making friends because I would do that. And I would go, I would think to myself, like, you just don't get it. Why would I open up to you? You just don't get it. But it was kind of like a chip on my shoulder that I realized that I had to kind of realize, like, just because someone might have a different life than you and they can't entirely relate to what you've been through, if they love you, they love you and they want to be in your life, and people can be safe to be vulnerable with. And that's a hard thing. It's a hard thing when you've been hurt a lot by two people or just maybe one parent. Maybe you have one good one bad one. That's pretty common too. But, it's pretty common growing up with that in that kind of environment to then have a lot of trust issues. I have a lot of trust issues. It's hard for me to open up to people. I don't like crying in front of anyone. I don't know why people like that. I can't really wrap my head around it because I feel like some people are all about that. Like, let's cry together or something. I just think it's weird. It's not, I mean, I think it can be a very beautiful thing. And I think that being vulnerable is a very beautiful thing. But it can take a while to trust someone, you know? And I think that that can be the result of when you had two people in your life who were supposed to protect you, who you were supposed to trust, you know? When they didn't do that, you know, that like messes with your head and with your sense of identity. It really does. And I don't know. I guess I wish more people talked about that. And maybe some people are. I don't know. I don't necessarily go like seeking content like that, but I found some stuff that I think is kind of helpful. But regardless, I just wanted to say on days like this, just know like you aren't alone. Um, this is so Mother's Day for me is always hard. It's always been hard my whole life. Because there's a lot of addiction with my mom, and it's been that way my whole life. And there's been a lot of neglect and a lot of selfishness and just a lot of, you know, essentially, I've just never felt like I've had a mom. I just have felt unloved and I think rejected by her most of my life. And so Mother's Day, understandably, is just like, shit, I don't want to do it, you know? But what I always do on Mother's Day, and I think this is really important, is I have a group of friends. I have my best friends. And I only have a few who are really like my best friends. And it's so important to have some sort of a community. And that community could be big or it could be small. It could just be a few close friends, but people who you can really trust and who care about you and care that you're okay or that you're not doing okay. And I know it's kind of cheesy and people say it a lot, but it's okay to not be okay. It genuinely, I can feel my dry mouth. Hold on. And I'm parked in like some random spot in a neighborhood. So I hope that, I don't know, I hope I'm not like, I don't look weird. They're like, I don't recognize you. But I wish I could live here. Jeez, it's nice. But yeah, it's so important to have people in your life who are dependable and who you can trust. And if you don't have anyone in your life like that, I just think it's important to try and like, I don't know, making friends is really hard. I wish I had better advice on that because I can be pretty socially awkward. And so that stuff is kind of hard. But even if you can find people online, on Reddit, even, I know Reddit can be kind of like a gamble, but Instagram, stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, get creative. There are tons of ways to meet people. Um, I don't know. I mean, but it's not great advice because I wish I could be more helpful there. But I will say that it's been really helpful on days like this to make sure that you're not alone. And if you want to be alone, that's okay. You know, emotions are complicated. Grief is complicated. This stuff is really complicated. Trauma is really complicated. And especially when it's your parents who have caused a lot of those things in your life, it's so complicated, you know, because there's a part of you that, at least for me, there's a part of me that really loves both of them so much. I wish that things were better. I've always wished that things were better. But, you know, sometimes that's not the case. And yeah, it can really mess with so many things in your life and how you make friends or have relationships, or whether that's friendships or romantic or whatever. Like, it can really just mess with your perspective on so many things and your perspective of people. um, but I will say, having really good friends that I can count on, and who I sorry, getting a little chapped. um, but having friends that you can count on days like this is so just invaluable, and something that I've been doing on Mother's Day for the past few years, because normally I would just be alone and then I would get really in my head and really depressed. And something that's been really helpful is just finding one of my friends, going, hey, hopefully someone who's not maybe celebrating Mother's Day, I don't know, or maybe they are earlier, and then you can grab them and go, hey, but later, like in the evening, do you want to get dinner or something like that? And for me, it's like food and movies. Those drive me. I'm so food motivated and I'm movie motivated. I grew only child. I watched movies all the time. I just watched movies. Those were my friends. And that sounds kind of sad, but if you get it, you get it. Like, it's a entertainment. Um, so seeing a movie is really fun for me. Maybe that's not your idea of fun. That's okay. Think of what's fun for you. Laser tag? I don't know. Whatever. Go ahead. Like, try to find something that really brings you joy, and find a friend that you can trust, and that you know that they love you, and they want you to be okay, and that they want to sacrifice their time with you, uh, to really just help you on days like this. And it's all so complicated. It's all so complicated. Like, I wish that it wasn't. Like, for example, today is my first Father's Day without my dad. But my dad didn't die. Um, I had to make the decision to go no contact with him. And I never thought I would do that. I never thought I would have to do that. It is not something that I think anyone does with glee. It's so painful, especially when it's your parent. Um, Try not to cry. I've already cried today. And I cried with a friend, and that's why I said it's so important if you can find someone to cry with. Or even if it's an online friend, be like, hey, can I FaceTime you, or can we do Zoom, and just cry? And I get it, crying is like, ugh, I get so embarrassed when I cry. But it's not a bad thing. You have to remember, I learned this in therapy. Therapy is great. If you can, get it. My insurance luckily covered it, and I'm very lucky for that. But, there are resources, I think, for like affordable therapy. Um, so consider that, if you've never, it is, for me, it's been very helpful. And I know for a lot of people it is. Uh, but something that I learned in therapy was that with crying, because I told my therapist right off the bat, I was like, look, probably not going to cry in front of you. Not a fan of it. And he's so great. He was just like, that's okay. And you know what? I won't look at you if you cry. I won't look at you. And I said, thank you, because I don't like when people look at me if I'm crying. um, I don't get that too, when people like want to look at you when you're crying and you're like, get out of here. What are you doing? Uh, but everyone's different. But he told me that with crying, like it makes you feel better. What is it? Like, it releases endorphins or something like that. It could be something else that it releases. I'm not a scientist. I don't remember. You don't have to be a scientist, but you get what I mean. But yeah, and I have found that, because I always want to bottle stuff up and go, I'm strong. I'm not going to cry. It's okay. It's okay to cry. And you can cry by yourself. You don't have to do it in front of anyone. I cry by myself all the time, especially this past year since I've gone no contact with my father. I cry by myself all the time, and it's really hard. And there are often more bad days than there are good days. But part of the hope that I hold on to, and part of the hope that I hope that you can have, and maybe you've experienced, is that hopefully there will eventually be more good days than bad days. And it won't always be like that. It won't always be more good days than bad days. You might have a really bad week, bad month, you know? This past month for me has been awful. And I think part of it is because I just turned 30. And so my birthday was June 7th. And it was my first birthday without my dad in my life, you know? And it's funny because I really missed him, but I think back to even last year, like I had to reach out to him to do something with me on my birthday. And it was like 2 weeks later, you know? And it wasn't about getting a gift or anything. I didn't want anything. I just wanted to spend time with him. I just wanted to see my dad, you know? And so I thought about that this year though, and I got pissed off and I was like, you didn't even care. Like, what the hell? Why am I upset over you? But then I think too, like, the reason that we're no contact is because of the choices that he's made that have been really, really hurtful and really difficult. And I won't get into too much detail on all that, but yeah, essentially, yeah, it's just really difficult. And I think too, the idea of like, sorry, someone just pulled up next to me, so then I got awkward. I forgot what I was saying. We looked at each other like, hi, like that Britney meme where Britney's at the stoplight and she's like, or is she at a light? Yeah, I think she is. Anyway, I'm trying to not make this video too long, but yeah. And if you're experiencing what I'm experiencing with my dad, it is grief. And that's a lot of what I've experienced is grief. Like I was confused when everything first happened. Like there was an event that got everything going, essentially. But then from there, I realized a lot of things, and a lot of things kind of came out. And it's shocking. It's so confusing. I feel like people don't tell you that. Like grief is confusing. Especially this type of grief. And I think it's called disenfranchised grief. I've looked into it, and it's like the type of grief that doesn't necessarily fit the classic form of grief. And I think this can be really common when you have bad parents. Let's be real, that's what they are, and some people just shouldn't be parents. And I have felt that way about my parents for a long time. And again, it doesn't mean that you don't love them. God, I mean, it's like you wish that you didn't love them, because then it maybe wouldn't hurt so much the way that they've treated you. But you know, you do have to take care of yourself. And especially on days like today, Father's Day, I'm like not going to go on Instagram. I'm trying to stay offline, even though I'm making a YouTube video. But I don't know. I mean, I felt compelled to, and I just wanted people to know, whether you have lost a parent, and I'm so sorry, you know, or you've lost them because of decisions that they've made and you've had to go no contact. It is still a form of grief, you know, and you get sad, you get angry, you try to bargain and go, well, maybe if they didn't do this, you know, or maybe if this had happened and if I did this, and, you know, what ifs, denial, like it's all part of it. And the best advice that I've got right now, I know for today, what I have planned, it's almost 6 o'clock, but my roommate, she's one of my best friends. She's like a sister to me. But she's someone who I trust and who knows about all this stuff with my parents, and that days like today are really, really hard. And So we're gonna go get dinner somewhere. I don't know. Like I said, I love food. Food is really fun for me. It's like I just I love it. Um I love it. But yeah, I think we're probably gonna get food. Maybe Chili's. I was kind of thinking Chili's. We'll see though. We'll see. Um get that triple dipper. I don't know what that was. But yeah, and then I think we're gonna see a movie, you know. I'm gonna see if we can. I haven't asked her yet, but I think that that might be fun. I'm thinking that new Tim Robinson movie. Is that who he is? I always get him mixed up with Tim Robbins. Tim Robinson, the guy who made I Think You Should Leave, which is also just so funny. If you're having a hard time today, go watch it. It's really funny. You might not think it's funny. I mean, it depends on your humor because it's a weird show. And it's also, some people just think it's like not funny at all. And that's okay. That's subjective. But I really like it. And so I'm just even thinking about some of the skits in it. But anyway, yeah, that's really all that I had. I just wanted to make a video talking about this. And this is very different from content that I normally make. I normally make like goofier stuff or talking about conspiracies and debunking them, stuff like that. Even though I'm not that good at debunking them because I just laugh through all of it. But you know, you have to be able to laugh, especially on days like today. It's just hard. But seriously, I know that people say this a lot, but you genuinely are not alone. And it is, try not to cry. Yeah, it's hard. It is really, really hard, but just try to not go online if you can and try to do something fun. Um, yeah, it's complicated. And don't feel like you owe anyone an explanation, you know? I've had people tell me, you know, well, why don't you just talk to your dad? Uh, you know, holidays went by and they're like, well, why don't you just talk to him? Like, come on, it's Christmas, or, you know. And I'm like, no, you don't get it though. You don't know like what happened and what we've been through and how that person how he's treated me, you know. So don't feel like you owe anyone an explanation. Like, it's your grief, it's your pain, but just know there are people who do love you and want to help you carry that pain, for better words, I think. But not for better or for worse. Better words. I just can't think of words right now. But yeah, you're not alone. And days like today suck. It sucks. Let's just say what it is. It sucks. It feels shitty. But it's okay to feel shitty. You know, you don't have to feel good on days like this or any day. You know, I mean, hopefully you have some good days. Like I said, I'm looking forward to more good days, but I've even this past year I've had a lot of times where it's not a holiday or it's not my mom or dad's birthday. Those days are hard as well. Um, but I've just had, you know, like a random ass Tuesday and I'm at work and I'm just like typing and then I'm have to go to the bathroom and sit in there for 5 or 10 minutes and just have a good cry. If you can do that, highly recommend. I love it. It's really been helpful for me. Because they're big emotions and this stuff is so hard and so shitty. And it's like you can't always help when you're going to feel when those things are going to come up, you know, when you're going to feel the big feelings. But just know, I mean, you really aren't alone. It's okay to cry. It's okay to not be having a good day today. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Although it is Monday tomorrow. Oh, I'm like Garfield on that one. I don't like Mondays, but I always feel weird about people who do like Mondays. Like when I go to work and they're like, "Hey," and I just feel like, "Who are you? You know, what do you want from me? Who sent you?" Like I get paranoid. No, but yeah, that's all I've got. I would like to make more videos about this topic because I have a lot of experience with it. Like I said, having bad parents, they've been bad pretty much my whole life. lot of addiction, a lot of mental health stuff that has really affected them. And I don't blame them like for that, you know, because that is really complicated, and like you can't always control that stuff. But where it's less complicated is like them refusing to be medicated or refusing to get help, you know, when you have like a little child. You know, that's what makes that a little bit more. I feel like I just picked some. Oh, uh-oh. Ignore that. That's what makes it a little bit more complicated, though, is when they make choices that may not be the healthiest choice or the most considerate of you being their child and them being the responsible adult who's supposed to take care of you. So yeah, it's hard, but I would like to make more videos about this. Because like I said, I just turned 30. I wish when I was 20 that there were more videos about like, how do you mature? How do you grow up when you don't have parents who are helping you? How do you get health insurance? I had to teach myself how to go online and just like get health insurance when I turned 18. My parents weren't going to help me with that. You know, how do you make car payments? How do you get car insurance? Like, how do you, you know, there's so many practical things. So, and emotional things. And I'm still working on that, probably always will be. And that's okay. You know, you gotta give yourself grace. You have to be patient with yourself. I find that if you put expectations on yourself to go, okay, I should be over this by now, or you know, tomorrow I'm gonna be so much better, and God, I'm so embarrassed like how sad I was today or something. Like don't listen to that. Don't listen to that other voice in your head. Because that's bullshit. Seriously, I'm gonna say it. I do cuss a little. That's a reference to a meme or something. But yeah, it's was it Jojo Siwa who said that? Sorry, ADHD kind of, you know, going off, but yeah, that's bullshit. That little voice in your head that's criticizing you or saying, you know, you should be okay by now, or you should just get over it, or God, you cried. Oh, that was so embarrassing. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that shit. It's okay. It's okay to cry. It doesn't make you any less strong. In vulnerability, like I said, I think it's a beautiful thing. Something that I used to be very afraid of. I'm still very afraid of it. But when you can be vulnerable with people who you can trust, if they've proven themselves to be a trustworthy person, you know, because people like me and maybe you, we don't necessarily let people in that quickly. You know, you got to really earn it. Yeah, which makes me just like so grateful for my friends and so proud of them that they've put up with, you know, me being like, oh, I'm not going to open up to you. I'm not going to tell you anything, you know? Yeah, but it's okay to do that. Yeah, it's okay to open up. There are people who do care. So, yeah, I'm not going to say happy Father's Day because it's not a happy day, but hopefully it can be a little bit happier. Hopefully you can do something that will help you feel a little bit better. That's what I'm going to do. And that's really what I recommend. So I'm going to stop talking now, but hopefully this video is a little bit helpful for you. I'm not going to edit it like I normally do with stuff. I'm just going to post it. And hopefully it finds you, you know. Yeah, so just know there are people like me and so many others who unfortunately have bad parents, and we didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. But sometimes it's just what happens, you know. I don't know why people make bad decisions, and it's all so complicated, you know, and like hard to think about. But you're not any less valuable, you know. I'm not any less valuable just because they've treated me like shit. Yeah, you don't mean any less to this world or anything like that, just so you know. So, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to end it because I'll just keep talking. Okay, bye. Thanks for listening, too. Bye.